Morning all, how are we doing? Good morning, where's the chat gone? Weird. Morning Ian, Amy, Christian, JC, Mumo, Joe, where am I? Where's my camera gone? Oh, there I am. That was weird. Weird things been going on my computer this morning. Very weird things. My screen went all weird. My screens went all weird. And then my camera just decided it didn't want to turn on. Very weird. Anyway. Yeah, morning. Mumo, Joe, Evil, Thought, Mark, Virginia, Yotko, Julian, Dougal, FTNet, Michael, Kennelly. When did it change to 8 a.m. This week? It's all on the website. The multiple posts have gone out on Facebook, on Telegram. The website's been updated. New Discord channel. Everyone's been informed. There's the new live stream schedule, and it's going to change every week. It's going to be different every week. Every day, every week, it's going to be different. It's all based around news, basically, from now on. Morning, Mecca. It's time. Gregors, Gav, Day Trader, Kennelly, Starrell. How are we doing? Just wanted to start off with a question. Somebody's asked me why the key fundamentals on the site are different to the news. So if you go onto my website and onto the fundamentals page, you'll see, obviously, we have the interest rates, and look at this every day. Interest rates, inflation, GDP, unemployment. Where's my pen? Hides every time. So this figure here, the inflation and the inflation change, somebody's asked, why is that not what we get reported on the website, on Forex Factory, basically? So yesterday we had the Canadian CPI figures coming out at 0 for the month and 3.3 for the year, the trimmed CPI at 3.4, etc. So those are the numbers that were reported yesterday, which is the monthly and the yearly figures. On my website, this inflation number is showing at 2.9 with a drop of 0.5. Okay, so yesterday they reported 3.3s and zeros and that sort of stuff. Mine is showing this. These figures are reported quarterly. So these are the quarterly numbers. These numbers are the ones that are not reported here. Everything is also always reported monthly and yearly. But the market pays attention to 3-month cycles, quarterly moves, which is why on our charts we have the 24 and the 72 moving averages, the monthly and the quarterly. So everything is reported monthly and quarterly in finance. So that figure there that you see is what's happened the last month and what has happened year on year. This basically on this month. This figure here is what the market is watching, which is how we designate movement. So a recession, a technical recession, needs 3 months in a row to be a recession. That's 3 GDP figures. Inflation, they monitor quarterly. Yes, it's going to go up and down all the time. We know that. But how smooth is it each quarter? Is it coming down quarter by quarter? Yeah, you're going to get bounces in inflation as it moves up and down, but we're looking for a smoothed average. So it's like a moving average, if you like. So that's why that number is different and why it's showing as 2.9. The target is 2. So quarter on quarter, it's dropped by 0.5% and it is now at 2.9. So that's basically why there's a differential there. So it's just a different way of reporting. More smoothed, if you like. Right, there you go. So news today, we haven't got a lot. We've had the Australian Wage Price Index came out as expected overnight. This evening, we've got FOMC. So this is just a normal FOMC meeting minutes report. There is no interest rate. There is no press conference. So it's literally just a case of tonight, we will get an FOMC report published. And that will be what happened in their meeting, which is a little bit like saying, let's have a look at what you've been talking about. However, you've been talking about it constantly all over Financial Juice every day. So we kind of know what's in the report. So these reports very rarely have a high impact fundamental shift to them, but they will sometimes make the market move for a couple of days because it'll be something that confirms something we've been waiting for information on. Worst case scenario, we'll get a whipsaw for a couple of hours. That's basically it. So you'll get some volatility tonight, but unlikely there'll be any directional bias off of it. So it won't change the direction much. And tomorrow is the main one. So tomorrow's live room, you will see, is at 8 o'clock. If I could get to the right page on the website. Yeah, so tomorrow, 8 o'clock for the European PMI figures, and then 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, not 2 o'clock, because we've got the USI PMI figures coming out at 2:45. Yeah, so we're revolving our live rooms around news, basically. Yeah, there's no point. Morning, Gouda. There's no point in me coming in here and just sitting here watching. You know, I've realised that we trade the open. We know that. Yeah. That's the wrong account. I clicked on that one. Maybe I didn't. So we trade the open with the SIH and the ORB strategy. There's no point in sitting here watching the open. All I'm doing basically is commenting on what is happening on the charts. You can see that if you're trading it. I don't need to talk you through, oh, look, this is happening. Yeah, the EA does it all automatically. I've just missed the open because I had the wrong bloody MT4 open. I'm going to stick that somewhere else. Put that down. Click the wrong MT4. So I've missed the open today. Oh my God, and I've missed a cracker as well. Typical. So pre-market 75. 1, 2, 3. Wouldn't have got on that personally. Did anybody get on the FTSE this morning? I wouldn't have taken that myself because I'm using the 30 minutes prior to the open. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah. So that's the range I'm monitoring, the half an hour before the open. And the range is only 54. Minimum range is 75, which is 10% of ADR. So I wouldn't have got on that. Beautiful break. If you took that this morning, if you're trading with the ORB EA and you're trading this and you took that this morning, that's 10R. That's a huge, huge, huge win today. Well done if you took it. DAX 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, so DAX I would have got a trade on and I would be long, but I'm not because I missed it. Anyway, there you go. On the FTSE 150 on a range of 151. So you would have taken that, yeah, max range. Cool. On the pre-market, your pre-market must be wider than mine then. You must be taking a much wider pre-market. That's the open. Oh, no, hang on. Sorry, that's not the open, is it? Yeah, sorry. No, that's the open. Yeah, so I would have actually, yeah, no, I would have taken the 5-minute break. So I'm not even, just because it hasn't drawn the lines on because the EA is not operating. That was your pre-market range. That is your post-market range. So you'd be 1 hour short on it. Anyway, I can't believe I started the wrong terminal. What an idiot. Never mind. So just to recap yesterday's trades. On the US. So there was no trade yesterday. What the hell happened yesterday? Yeah, so there was no trade yesterday on the S&P. No, there was on the S&P. There was no trade on the Dow yesterday. So the Dow ranges were too tight yesterday. Had a lovely break to the upside. So if you did take the pre-market 15 with the ORB, EA, you got a lovely break. And huge win yesterday. I didn't know. I was on the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ yesterday, we had a hedge situation. So it broke long, went up about 1.5 hour, broke short, and then collapsed down. So I took off the short position. I showed you this in the live room yesterday, but I took off the short position at support, which was the previous day's support. Then it pushed down, got into the aggressive entry and exited there. So it took a little bit of heat on the drawdown for about half an hour. but then it pushed up nicely, came back up, retested that propulsion gap. So that was a nice profit yesterday, and the S&P virtually the same move. So hedged and took the support profit at the previous day. I think it was previous day. Oh no, it was ADR. Sorry, on the S&P it was ADR. So this was an ADR hit to the downside. Yeah, so that was ADR yesterday. So it hit ADR, bounced beautifully off of ADR, got the aggressive on and exit. So 2 for 2 yesterday afternoon. I'll leave that open, but I'm not in it. Annoying. Wow, look at that FTSE. That's collapsing fast. DAX you'd be hedged on now, and a short. So DAX, watch yesterday's low for a bounce today. Got a little area here as well, potentially, which is just beyond it, which is these monthly levels. So downside targets on the DAX, I'd look at yesterday's low for a bounce. And then obviously if it wants to continue down, it can, but you'll probably get a bounce out yesterday's low as the limit orders trigger. Upside targets on it, I'd have to go with ADR, which would be last week's high. You're certainly not hedged on the FTSE. In fact, you're probably out of the FTSE. Or getting out. Thinking about it. Right. So overnight news, not an awful lot tonight. We had some earnings overnight. Palo Alto dropped heavily. Solar Edge dropped heavily. These aren't massive names, but they did drop. I'm just scanning through for, I saw a load of Japanese talk. I just wanted to scan through for any mention of FX. It's all trade balance and stuff. So there was no mention overnight of FX movement again. So they've taken their foot off the gas with the FX worry. Apart from that, there's no news overnight. So nothing particularly to worry about there. So if we look at the yen, I'm already on it. So the US dollar yen, basically, since we had the intervention talk back here, the Japanese said, stop doing what you're doing. We've basically gone into a symmetrical triangle contraction. So we are now in a symmetrical triangle pattern, meaning that we are going to break one way or the other with all likelihood. So it depends today which way we go. There's no news today until FOMC. So the likely movement today we'll see across most of the FX pairs is going to be rotation, because they won't want to drive the market hard in any direction today until they've got that FOMC meeting minutes out the way. However, it is a very dubious sort of news event in the fact that it is just a report of meeting minutes, and it's unlikely the market would react heavily to it anyway. So we'll see. But so yeah, we're pushing up ever so slightly today. We had a lovely down day yesterday. It looked like the market was starting to buy that yen up, and then it pulled back a little bit today. So we have had that structure break, market reversal alert, and the retest went in there last week. And we've come back up. We've retested that area, rejected it. We've come back up. We've put in a lower high. So as long as we put in a lower high today within this symmetrical triangle, it's likely that we're going to break south. So you're looking for a break of today's low. We'll give you that symmetrical triangle break and confirm that is breaking bear. So should be a pretty good move if it gets underway, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's why there's no further news from Japan. They're not saying we're closely monitoring FX movements, etc., because we put a down day in yesterday and they're like, thank you very much. Thanks for doing what we asked you to do. And we're putting in lower highs. So lower highs all the way. Market structure is bearish. So looking for a lower high today, basically looking for this support rectangle to hold. So I took some profit yesterday. I took banked 1.85% yesterday on, I think it was all US dollar yen. This is the H1M5 account. What was yesterday? 20th. No, I didn't. I banked a bit more as well. So yeah, US dollar yen and Euro US and Euro CAD. So Euro CAD. That was that entry there. I got out of this one in the live room, didn't I? Flipped short on it now because we got an H1 RSI extension to the upside. So this was the CAD news yesterday. I got into this ages ago, like 3 weeks ago, and it hasn't gone anywhere. So I'm out. There's hardly any profit in it, but just needed to get out. So out of that, flip short. I don't really want to be in this thing. It's just a pain in the ass. I will target a return to origin move and no more. I'm not interested in profit. Let's take a little bit off of it if we can. If we can push back to return to origin on the news event, that'll do me on that as a short. It's just a pain in the backside, this Euro CAD at the moment. You can see we've just come out of a big wide range, a move into a tight range, a move. If we go up into there, I'll scale in and get out on a move back down because that area is going to hold. And they'll come back out of that, I should imagine, at some point. So I'll try and just target the lows there. Euro US dollar was the other one. So again, very, very much the same trade as the Euro CAD. H1 extension, M5 reversal alert, exit in propulsion. So yeah, that one was out. And the US dollar yen. So US dollar yen yesterday, I closed out. I had two, I call them aggressive drawdown control positions. They were kind of half aggressive drawdown control positions. So basically what I did, you can see the trades in here. So there's one there, which was pretty much a break even. And then there was that one there. Oh, no, sorry, that was the break even one. Oh, yeah, that was that one there. So I stopped out basically on that aggressive drawdown control position. I had that one on from there. I put it back on again yesterday, the second one, and then it dropped. So I used that position there and that position there. Both of them were 1.5 lots. I'm running 1.96 on it at the moment. So they were not 100% aggressive, but there was two of them. So I used the profit on that to do some drawdown control on a lower position. So this one down here. So I got out of a third of that position using the profit. The reason I haven't done more drawdown control, so I banked yesterday 1,000. Could have banked yesterday, but yeah, just shy of $1,000 basically. The reason I didn't do more drawdown control on this is because I still have faith in this yen strength. This Japanese move is coming, and if they. The beautiful thing about the yen is they're the only country, the Japanese, that if you piss them off, they will react and they will make the currency move by hurting you. They basically put sanctions on you in respect of, well, we'll just sell all of your bonds and liquidate the money. And there's nothing you can do about it. So do as we say, or we will make you do it. And they're one of the few countries that has the power to do that. Although they're not doing particularly well economically, they have that power. So the world tends to listen. So I've still got faith in this coming down and doing a pullback on that move that we've had, that massive yen rally. So I think we're going to come down, and worst case scenario, and I won't be able to hold it till up there, I don't think, because I'll have to scale out of some of this. That is where we'll get that second reaction, which is where they stepped in and said, no, we had those multiple intervention moves come, and then the market finally dropped. So, we're up at a critical point on this at the minute. So I suspect with the current climate, we're going to rotation on this. However, if they do put that interest rate up to zero from negative 0.1, because they've been in negative interest rates now for 7 years, if this continues to drop for another quarter and they push that up to a zero, I think they'll probably push their interest rate up fairly quickly, which will really power that yen up. So I still think there's a good chance of a decent move on that. So I'm holding that, but that's all I did yesterday on H1M5. So just sitting in drawdown. The drawdown is absolutely fine on everything in here. I'm not worried about anything in here. It's just this US dollar yen and the pound yen, which I am just stuck in because it ain't moving. And I just keep doing drawdown control on it, and I will keep doing drawdown control. I've got positions in profit on both of them it's just not moving anywhere. So I can't take that profit because it just isn't going anywhere. So just waiting on these things. And they make up 9% of the 13% of drawdown. So just a bit of a squeeze on them. Nothing you can do. RSIs today. Aussie New Zealand is extended to the downside, H1. So that is extended. So we've only got a few extensions here. There's a few new positions taken yesterday, as you can see. So all these singles basically are new positions that went on. There's nothing to bank at the moment, but there's quite a few RSI extensions yesterday, mainly New Zealand dollar based. And as you can see, they are still extended, most of these New Zealand. So it's Euro New Zealand, Aussie New Zealand, and the 3 New Zealand crosses apart from the US dollar. So it's all New Zealand based, basically, off the back of that move that we had yesterday. So Aussie New Zealand extended to the downside. That's a beautiful long move with no profit take. So we're looking for a nice 38, 50% retracement. If we can get down to this weekly low and last week's low today and get that extension below 75, that'll be a lovely buy from there. So if we can get down to there, that'd be great. So that is extended below the 30 level. We got the Euro New Zealand also extended down there. Beautiful wicks going in on this at the moment. Yeah, good rejection. So markets push down, buyers push back. Buyers try to take control. Sellers try to push back. Buyers pull back. Sellers have tried again. Buyers pull back. When we get that reversal, that's going to pop. So good looking long opportunity there. Need to wait for it to actually go. But if you look at support levels on this, we're not far away. It's 150 ADR today, the monthly low, and the previous monthly low, 125 to 150 ADR. Again, if we can get that pushed down below that 75 level today and come and test those levels, I think we'll get a decent pop off of that, and we'll just be looking for a pullback on that leg. So that looks setting up nicely. It's not ready yet. Unless you want to get in. If you want to get in off of the 70-30 instead of the 75-25, which I'm using, doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. If that works, brilliant. Well done. I won't get it. You will. Wait for that reversal alert to go in, and that'll be your reversal. All the New Zealand pairs, so New Zealand dollar CAD extended to the upside and embedded. I've got one on that already, looking to target back down into propulsion, so the accumulation break. So that's New Zealand dollar CAD extended to the upside. It's put in a new high today, so hopefully this is just going to form a multi-day M pattern. But that Canadian dollar could remain weak. We need to be watching that CAD today after the news yesterday. That was a massive miss for the CAD. Well, it's good that their inflation is coming down. Obviously, that means their interest rates are going to come down faster, which will devalue the currency. So it's a double-edged sword, inflation and interest rates. It's great for us, the consumer, but it's bad for the currency. So it makes us richer, but it makes the currency poorer. So, yeah, good-looking potential pullback on this, but that CAD, if that continues to weaken for another day, we could get another continuation move on that. Extended on the 4-hour as well, that one. Nicely extended and embedded. So if you're trading 4-hour RSI extensions, you haven't had a reverse alert on the 4-hour, but you're looking at the same thing. We've also got a monthly coming up on that, which is last month's high. And then you've got the previous month's high there as well for December. So this is the January high, and the December high is a triple top. So 100 to 150 ADR, you've got major resistance where you're going to find limit order triggers. So I'm in one on this. That's going to be too close for me to get into a second. Yeah, it's way too close. That's only 22 pips. 29 is half an ADR. I'm looking for way more than that. So I will take a second entry when we test that high, which is basically roughly an ADR away. So if it bounces off of that, I win. If it pushes up to there, I get into a second and I will win for that. So hopefully. So that's New Zealand CAD. New Zealand Swiss also extended on the hourly. First entry taken on that one yesterday. Looking for a retest of this area here. I'll see what happens on this one. We've pushed out again. This Swiss franc is just useless at the minute. No power in the Swissy at all. But yeah, so looking for a pullback on this leg, basically. That's a 50% retracement. Obviously, I will watch and see what happens when we get down to propulsion gaps. Monitor price action, but At the moment, out the highs still, and New Zealand dollar yen. So that's rallied. This New Zealand dollar really rallying off the back of the numbers that we had for the monetary policy meeting minutes. So the Aussies rallied a little bit, and that's really pushed this New Zealand again. So squeezy on the New Zealand. There's a lot of 4-hour RSI extensions as well, extended above the 70-30 levels. So if you're trading this 4 hours, up to you. I just prefer things to be more extended. So these two are extended, but I'll be in those anyway on the hourly. So there you go. So there's your RSI extensions. As I say, nothing to bank at the moment, and new positions taken yesterday. So just waiting for these yens to do something. So banked 5.4% on the month. We're on the 21st. So I'm on for, if the yen powers up, I'll do 10% this month, I reckon. If the yen doesn't power up, it really could ruin the month this month on H1M5. But we've been stuck in these bloody things since January. Yeah, I mean, it's just, the price action is just so erratic at the minute. I've had 2 opportunities to exit this, which is even more annoying. I could have got out and just gone, but I didn't, because I was expecting that yen interest rate rise, and they've delayed, as everybody has, they've delayed the interest rate numbers. So, but we are at that 150 level. Yeah, this is the key. We do not like going above that level. So as long as we're at that level or above that level, the pressure's going to be on to power that yen up. So I don't have a problem with them, really. That's why I'm holding them. I'm in a, it's not comfortable. It's not massively uncomfortable. If it pushes further, then I'll take some loss on it. But we will see. ADR reversals. So yesterday, ADR reversals, I did some drawdown control, aggressive drawdown control trade failed. See if there's anything bankable on that at the moment. CAD Swiss. Euro Swiss. So Euro Swiss basically was yesterday's aggressive drawdown control trade. I was looking for basically a retest. We got the retest. It wasn't enough for me to actually take that off. I was expecting them to do a return to origin move on this, but they didn't. They've bounced from it. So that one got taken off yesterday, which is why there's a small loss on there today. Today, or rather yesterday. That was that one there. Other than that, I banked Euro CAD and US dollar Swiss yesterday. So the US dollar Swiss, I took that trade off there as we came and double bottomed on yesterday's move, and we pushed basically down into this area, into this propulsion gap. So this is where they've bought multiple times to just keep buying it. So I got out there in case they bought it again, which they have, but they haven't managed to put enough strength in to get a reversal of that. So the structure's still bearish on this. We're still putting in lower highs ever so slightly. And if this does make a new low today, we are going to come back down and retest this level. That also gives me an out on the trade today. So I've only got a couple of positions on it. But that one I took off yesterday. What's the other one? Euro CAD. And the Euro CAD. So Euro CAD got out of yesterday. Again, same sort of thing. It was that ADR extension there. So there's a couple of really nice ADR reversals on this. Yeah, and then we got into that one there. Had to take a second looking for a bounce, and it just came down. And then we sat there again for 2 weeks. I even took a short in the middle of it. Look. So got out of that one yesterday with a profit. So basically all the profits from yesterday basically have just paid for, obviously flipped short on this because it was an ADR extension yesterday as well. So all the profits banked yesterday just paid for the aggressive drawdown control. So it came out with a flat day. So up 13% on the month. ADRs today, you've got New Zealand dollar yen at the moment is the only thing that's hit. So that's an extension to the upside. That's just rejecting now. 5-minute reversal has just gone in. So there's your entry right now off of ADR as a short. If you're taking the 100 extensions. There's a couple of weeklies gone in as well. New Zealand dollar Swiss is extended to the upside on the week. So we are on Wednesday. This one is a little dubious because that is a broker candle. So I would say you're not actually a hit on that New Zealand dollar Swiss. It's just shy of it. Look at that beautiful rejection this morning. Lovely big strong push up, rejection. Bears try to take control. Bulls try to take control back. Bears take control. Bulls try to take control back. Bears take control. Yeah, this ain't going any higher. Bears fully iceberg order sitting there, not wanting to take this any further. So that's not going to get me into another position, that reverse alert, because it's too close. That's half an ADR. It's a little too tight for me. It's just, look at the spread on it. Look at the spread. Swiss franc and New Zealand dollar Swiss, well known for high spread. This is the New Zealand dollar Swiss, so it's the biggest spread you can get, pretty much. Didn't get us another entry on it. But I'm just going to stick a manual on it. I just really love that. That is beautiful upside rejection. There's an iceberg order sitting there in the bank. They're not happy. They want a big short executed, and they're getting it. So the buyers are attempting a new high. If we break that yesterday's high today, that's going to come down pretty quick. So distance between those two orders, that manual one is 98. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the hourly. Yeah, so the reversal up there between those two is about 14 pips. So I'm in a little bit tight on it, but as you can see, it's brought the average up nice. So if that rejection holds and the market breaks down below the high there, we've got a good chance that we might start that rally. And we are well overdue some Swiss franc strength as well. So I'm just going to stick that TP down there. So those three positions will be a nice exit. If it does push up, obviously the EA will take another trade and I'll be a little bit overexposed on it. But anyway, so yeah, looking for a push down, basically into propulsion. We test that area first, which is that propulsion gap. Then we've got that area there, which is that propulsion gap. Then we've got, it's kind of that, which is that, but it's not. So these are the two main targets to the downside. Obviously, this thing could rally, but that Swissie's dying at the minute. So nothing else much to bank on that. Pound CAD, if that can get a push down today. Again, this Canadian dollar, unknown as to what we're going to do with this CAD. I might just take a 50 on that. What's that? It's about 0.5%, just shy. Pound US. A bit difficult, that one. Pound US, I'm just going to target in the support rectangle, just high of yesterday's low. Nothing much else I can get off of that. So yeah, so 12% banked, sitting in 20. Quite high DD on this. Euro Swiss is the main problem at the moment. I did notice this on the VPS last year when we were trading this on the VPS. Obviously, it's running 0.2% risk, so it's running quite high risk. Considering it's trading all 28 pairs. And I did see this getting up to the 20s last year at points when I was logging in. It may have even gone further than that. So it is fairly high risk, obviously running 0.2. over 28 pairs. So that's why it's in high drawdown, but obviously it's got the possibility to bank very nicely as well, which brings me on to hedging. 33% banked on the month. We're now up to 31% drawdown. Again, this is normal for this strategy because obviously what you bank. When you bank something, you've got something wrong, so you get the opposite drawdown. So we're just using that market constant movement to constantly bank money and constantly go into drawdown and then wait for that drawdown to turn into profit as the market unfolds those moves. Then that goes down to there. So this is constantly flip-flopping between sort of 10, 20, 30% up, down, up, down, up, down all the time. So it's at the higher level at the minute. There's nothing in drawdown of any worry apart from New Zealand dollar Swiss, Euro Swiss. So again, it's the Swiss franc. We're just waiting for one power up on that Swissy. If we get one move on the Swissy, one ADR move on the Swissy, 90% of the trades are just going to unfold and make money. So it's just a case of waiting for some movement, and that is coming down nicely this morning. Let's just see if this is Swiss franc power. So New Zealand Swiss, you're about to get that reversal alert. Euro Swiss is holding. Hedge Swiss is holding. Aussie Swiss. So this is a little bit of power coming in for the Swissy. Not a massive amount though. It's not particularly strong, but it's strong enough. So we'll see if we get some follow through on this leg today. But yeah, up 30%. So that's all unfolding quite nicely. Banked 3% yesterday. I won't go through all the trades. This is a very, very, very simple strategy. There's no point in going through every trade every day because it's going to bank loads every day. But it's literally every time you get a reverse alert, it takes a trade. That is it. Simple as that. Reverse alert, trade. Reverse alert, trade. Yeah, and we wait. If it goes our way, we take it off. If it doesn't go our way, we scale in as normal on reverse alerts and we get out when it does. Very, 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 very simple. Always going to be right, always going to be wrong. There's nothing else much to bank on it at the moment. I've got short onlys on those US dollars. A lot of these Swisses I've got short onlys on as well. So I'm just going to, obviously, I just keep monitoring this every day and setting TPs up. This is, I've got this running at the moment on manual everything. I'm finding this actually quite hard work to manage this account. This was running on full auto on the server last year. Can't remember what it was running. Half an ADR. So basically it was targeting half an ADR of movement with no monetary amount. So it's basically taking everything off at half an ADR, and obviously think I can get more profit out of that. So because this is taking up quite a lot of management time, I might set that back to maybe one ADR, and I might set a monetary value on this as well. So at the moment, half an ADR is $75. So half a percent is $75. So what I might do is set this up to try and grab sort of half an ADR or around about 0.75% or something, just so that I don't have to constantly put TPs on everything, because I'm finding it's almost like, because obviously it trades everything because it's hedging. I'm finding myself having to come in constantly and set TPs on everything because it's taking new trades all the time. And I have to reset all the TPs over and over and over and over again. Let's target that propulsion down there. See that one, now I'm having to adjust from down here to here, which is not a major problem, but it's just quite time consuming. And me being lazy and wanting to use EAs all the time, I'm not sure I can be bothered to do it. So I might just set it up to go and do full auto, because last year it did 148% return on those settings. I think I can get more out of it but I kind of want something so that if we get a new spike, it just automatically gets me out of those trades and makes the money, especially with the singles, which is something I've put into the position trading EA that I've built. There's a new thing in there where again, this is partly out of what I've been doing with the hedging account. I've got two separate targeting mechanisms in the new EA. When it opens, ignore all this. This is just mucking about. There's two separate targeting systems in it, basically. Which is there. So the exit targets now it's just using percent balance to target. It's much better to target percent balance than it is to target ADR. So with a single trade, we can have an individual target now on a single trade as opposed to a position. So a lot of the trades we get in on all strategies, whether it's H1M5, whether it's ADR, whether it's hedging, whatever the strategy you get into, you take a trade on a mean reversion. If that trade works, you want to get out of it and take the money. There's absolutely no point in leaving it to go for a big win when it could take you into drawdown. So I've set this EA up so that we've got a single trade target, like the ADR reversal. So if we get into an ADR and we're risking, in this case, 0.5% over one ADR of movement, I'd be happy to take 0.25% profit on it. Just if it's a straight in, straight out, I've got to do absolutely nothing about it. Just bank 0.25% for me for doing nothing. Do it. If it turns into a position, though, if I'm going to use lot multiplication and take a slightly larger lot size on the second one, we can make more money on it. Because if that first trade that pushes down fails and the second trade works, we could easily make 0.5% to 0.75% on that because we've got more lot size on. Yeah. So I've set two individual trade targets, and that hedging one is a prime example of why I think that is a much better way of doing things. And it's what I do manually anyway. But if we've got something with a single on it, like that Aussie CAD, for example, yeah. So we've got an Aussie CAD sell on there. We're going to get a second position on that in a minute. But if that trade had worked, that first sell, wherever it was, had worked, and it pushes down into there, just take it off. There's nothing wrong with just taking a single, like Aussie New Zealand. Yeah. So we've got a buy on the Aussie New Zealand. So target on that one. If I can make, 1/3% or 0.5% on that, I mean, that move there, if we move up to that high. So if this just goes into a range now, yeah, that there is just over half an ADR, 0.5% profit. Just take that. However, if it turns into a position and a second entry goes in there and it does that, let's take 1.5% profit. There's no point in getting out at the same profit target when you've got more lot size on. As we know, when you've got higher lot size on, you're going to make more money on faster moves. That's what it's going to benefit from. So that's all set up. Again, I've got to run this on a proper live test at the moment. I'm mucking about at the minute, trying to get. I got margin called again yesterday. Look, that was sitting in. I think I saw it up at 15% profit or something, and then I let it go, and it just got margin called again. So I'm using stupidly big risk, playing around with it. But anyway, so that's the hedging account sitting up at 33 at the minute. So there we go. We'll have a quick look at the indices, and then we'll have a look at the chat. If you got in on the 5-minute ORB, which is that one today, well done. You've hit target to the downside on that. It's 150. You've had 340 out of it, so it's easy 2R, straight in, straight out. Typical, isn't it? The one bloody day I forget. got the right terminal. It's because I've got two Darwin X terminals. I've got one Darwin X terminal called Darwin X FTSE DAX, and I've got another Darwin X terminal called Darwin X US Index. And I opened the US Index one this morning, and of course, that's not the right one. So, never mind. But if you're in the DAX, you're hedged on pre-market and on on the 5-minute ORB, you're hedged anyway. So then that's not going anywhere today. Look, but downside, if you are in the DAX, downside, look at yesterday's low. That is also a double monthly level. So there's going to be a good level of limit orders sitting there, which is going to trigger. Upside is very hard. The only upside target you've literally got is there, which is ADR today. So it might be a bit tricky one to get out of the DAX today, but we will see. Morning, Alan Bay. How you doing? Morning, Chucks. Morning, Franco. CAD is always a wild card because of oil. Yeah. And also that interest rate drop is going to hurt it. That's way faster than they were anticipating. They're going to have to put the brakes on that. The only way they can do that is by dropping interest rates. Dropping interest rates devalues the currency. However, as Franco's just pointed out, if oil rallies like a lunatic at the same time as they drop their interest rates, it's going to have a zero effect on the CAD. It's just going to go whoa and carry on going sideways. So we'll see. Hornors. Morning, Ismet. Johannes. We're well through the winter and spring started to appear. MPC meeting, 20th of February. What? Thanks for subscribing, Bruce. Bruce Lean. That's a piss take of Bruce Lee, isn't it? I get it. Excuse me. Buying 20 pairs and waiting until green. What? I don't know what that means. Swiss pairs weak, waiting for Swiss to push. Yeah. Morning, Neo. So yesterday I opened the Discord channel. So, look, there's people posting stuff. So we've got Discord now. And Discord is much better organized than Telegram, obviously. So I've put a post in Telegram and I've updated the website now so that the Discord is on the website up here. So if you want to join the Discord channel, you can go up there. I've used Discord all my life, but I've never run a server. So I'm just going to see how it pans out with spamming, scamming, what channels I've basically set up a load of channels in there for everything. So we've got two support channels in there, or support categories in there with channels for every single product. So every indicator and every EA has got its dedicated channel. So if you've got any problems with any of that, you've got a channel for it. We've also got general chat stuff. So position trading channel, an ORB, SIH index channel. We've got stop loss based strategy channel, and we've got live room stuff, strategy ideas, and help with trades, basically, and a non-trading chat one for talking about rubbish. And obviously the live room links and everything. So I will see what happens, what other channels are needed. I did think of another one this morning. And now I can't remember what it was. And I was like, that would be a good channel to set up. It's because somebody asked something. What did they ask? Back testing. Yeah. So somebody asked this morning about downloading tick data. So I might set up a back testing channel for questions specifically relevant to back testing as well. In fact, I might do that now. Back testing. New soundboard. Learn more about soundboard. I don't want to learn about soundboard. To do with back testing in general or with so we've got a back testing channel in there now as well. So handy. There we go. And I will probably just phase Telegram out. I'll just lock that group at some point when Discord starts to take off, because it is much nicer having individual channels. But I just want to let it run. I want to let them both run side by side for a month or so and just get a feel for how they're being used. What I do not want to do is turn it into oh my God, I've now got to manage 2 things. The idea is trying to cut down on the amount of admin I'm doing. Creating 2 platforms for support doubles it, potentially. So we'll see. But anyway, there we go. Right, that's all I've got for this morning. If anybody's got any other pairs I want to look at, let me know. Oh, by the way, don't forget to do that thing. Really want to see those fingers, or thumbs in this case. Gav, from your FX Blue, it looks like you have approximately 120k sitting in Robo Forex. Assume you're comfortable enough with the amount of sitting in Robo Forex. Yeah. I think it's still protected to a certain amount. Not really. No verification on Discord. What's that mean? Verification of what? There's no verification on Telegram. Yeah, so I mean, basically, if you're going to trade, you've got to have your money in your broker to be able to use it. So I keep a backup amount. But yeah, I mean, I could diversify it across multiple brokers, but I've never had a problem with Robo Forex. They're one of the largest brokers on the planet. I can't get complete protection anywhere in the world without using 1-to-30 leverage. I can't trade with 1-to-30 leverage, therefore I have to take a risk. If you don't like risk, this is the wrong job, because this is 100% risk. So yeah, nothing to do about it. Again, if you want to trade, you need capital. If you don't like risk, this isn't for you. Yeah, it's risky. But if you're going to put your money anywhere, it goes into the big brokers. It goes into IC Markets, FXCM, XM Global, Robo Forex, Alpari. Anybody that you've known about your entire life is okay until they're not. The same way as Northern Rock were an amazing bank until they weren't. Yeah. Scottish Widows were a great pension company until they weren't. Robo Forex are a great broker. Alpari UK was a great broker until it went bust. I was with them when they went bust. But there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, this is finance. This is risk. But any big broker, my Axie, for me, if a broker's been around less than 5 years, I'm not even interested in talking to them. If they've been around for a decade or more, yeah, I've got the added luxury of having done this for more than 15 years. So I know all the big names, because the big names are constantly being advertised to me over and over again if I turn off my ad blocker. Yeah, FXCM. I've been seeing their adverts for 15 years. Yeah, they haven't gone anywhere. I'm safe. IC Markets, Axie, Alpari, Ducascopy, all the names that you see everywhere all the time. If you want to know, go and have a look at their websites. And just do your due diligence. Go and find out about the company. How long's the company been there? There's no company history one on the Axie site. Don't know. But normally they've got a company history stuff. If they sponsor a football team or a Formula One team, you're pretty safe. Yeah, that costs millions millions. It costs $250,000, right, to get a single license for a single country. If I want to set up as Lee's broker tomorrow in the UK, I need £250,000. If I then want to accept US customers, I need another $250,000 to set up my US brokerage, right? If I've invested multi-millions in setting myself up as an international broker in multiple countries, and I sponsor a football team or a Formula One team, yeah, I've got a disposable income of 10 million a year. Do you think you're safe with a company that big? Yes. Are you safe with Joe's brokerage based on Vanuatu that has been going for 6 months and is giving you $100 match bonus if you put $100 into their account? Just got to use your head. Yeah, the brokers are not on your side. They're a necessary evil in the industry. They're not your friends. They be after every single penny you've got. But you just got to be careful. Why do I remove my stop losses overnight? It's pretty obvious if you look at the New Zealand Swiss. Yeah, I remove my stop loss overnight because they do stuff like that. Yeah, if I'd have gone long yesterday and moved my stop to break even, I got taken out before I missed the 3-day move. Not because I was wrong, because the broker decided to do that. That's what they do. This is why you pay with swaps, and you know, every aggressive drawdown control position I put on is removed overnight and it's put back on in the morning. Yes, it's more risky for me and I might take a little bit more loss on it, but I won't get stopped out. So, you know, you just got to be a bit careful. There you go, look, Euro Swiss. So there's my aggressive drawdown control position on the ADR reversal account. We just got a nice Swiss franc going. So there's the stop loss on it. Yeah, but that gets removed every night and put back on in the morning. Now, if it's moved up to there by the time I wake up, I just close the trade and I'll take a little bit more loss. But it's much better than at midnight, them spreading it like that and then it pushing down and me getting taken out before that move happens. I'm happy to take a little bit of extra risk to stay in the game. And, you know, these things you only learn when you've been with brokers for years. There is no broker that doesn't do it. It's part of their job. Their software does this automatically to gain them money. Yeah, it's not some bloke going, we'll get them. It's fully automated. Every night at the swap, the spreads go mental because there will be an amount of money sitting there and there, either side of price, that if they spread, they will put in their bank. Why wouldn't you? I would. If I was a broker, I'd be doing exactly the same thing. But nothing you can do. So that's coming down nicely. What was that one I just took? New Zealand Swiss, wasn't it? Yeah, go. So that's that manual I just took. Right decision. So that's about give you a reversal on the hourly in, should we watch it? 35 seconds. $20 seconds. Is anybody, if you're, most of you are in the UK, aren't you? So has anybody in here watched Friday Night Dinner? Just off the cuff while we're waiting for this candle to close. It's the most funny thing I've ever seen in my life. Hilarious. There's your reversal alert. So that rejection that we saw, confirmed, buyers have lost that iceberg order. Sellers have now taken control. So we'll either get a continuation move from the sellers or they will come and retest and then hopefully put that end pattern reversal in up at the highs. Hopefully this is the start of some Swiss franc strength. Very overdue. Do you think one ADR is a good start for a TP setting on H1 Hedge? Yeah, I used half an ADR, but one ADR is fine. Don't forget on H1 Hedge, you are trading the hourly charts. Yeah. So this account is trading hourly. So when you get a reversal alert, right, that reversal alert there, that's short. Yeah. So that short entry there that got taken off there. Yeah. So if you look at the actual reverse alert, the reverse alert itself is 248. So it's 25. So that reversal alert is half an ADR. Just to get the reversal alert needs half an ADR of movement in this case. So if you're targeting half an ADR after the reverse alert, you are asking the market to put a 1 ADR move in to get your TP, which is why I had it set at half an ADR. On a 5-minute chart, that Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar reverse alert would have been somewhere in the region of a quarter to an ADR, maybe less than that. So asking for half an ADR on the 5-minute time frame is probably 2 to 3 times the reward. But because we're trading the hourly charts, we're trading much bigger swings which are lasting days and weeks. So targeting 1 ADR from there is no problem. But this is why I manually do it, because if so let's take this one as an example. Yeah, you can see why I got out of this. It's pretty obvious. There's a lovely, great big support there. Look. Yeah, look at my target. Look at where the support is. Yeah, resistance, support, 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 support. Why do you think I targeted that? Because I was expecting what? A bounce. What did we get? A bounce. Yeah, because there's limit orders sitting there. We know that. Limit orders triggered there, limit orders triggered there, limit orders triggered there, limit orders triggered there. They didn't work, but they triggered. So I exited there. And that distance is 35 pips. So ADR on this is 46. The EA would have got me out at 23. So the EA would have got me out there. I managed to get that because I can see areas the EA can't. So there's never a right or a wrong. If you go for 1 ADR, yeah, which would need you to get down into that propulsion gap, which did work, and the limit orders triggered again off of that. But if you did target that area and you saw an obvious support at 3/4 of an ADR, I would just move the TP to 3/4 of an ADR, because this is the thing. This is the reason risk reward fails, and everybody. This is the reason traders in general fail. When you use a stop loss, you have a level where you are going to invalidate that trade idea. For you to make money, your target has to be bigger than whatever that stop loss is. Risk reward, R ratio. Yeah. The problem with R ratio is if there is a level before the R ratio required by your strategy to make money, that price obviously in the past has not let the market go through, it's very unlikely you're going to hit that level. So you're better off targeting levels rather than risk reward ratios, which is why I don't believe that a positive risk reward ratio is required for trading with a stop loss. Yeah. If I can get into a trade, yeah, let's say we're going short here and I put a stop loss there and I see an obvious level of support, yeah, I'll get out there. Now, if the entry and the exit, and that is only 1.1 R, and my strategy requires a 50% strike rate with 1.5 R, I'm going to get out at 1.1 because that's where the market's going. I'm not getting out because my strategy requires something the market is not willing to give. You get out where the market is going. The market removed the amount of the ability for the buyers to push further there because this is where the sellers took control of the market. And they added into that position. If your TP was there because your risk reward ratio said it had to be there because you needed a 3-to-1, you're an idiot. The market's not going there. The market's going to where the sellers are. The market is now going to where the buyers are. And it will bounce there. I can guarantee it with 99% certainty. If we come back tomorrow and we've got down to there, you will find a bounce. Whether that bounce is a reversal or a bounce and a market structure continuation, I have no idea. But I can tell you there are limit orders sitting there because that is where they bought from. And if you are long this market now as a bank, and you are still long this market, you are going to add more into your position to try and drive this into a profitable position. Or if you've got a customer that requires a load of transactions done at 105,600, you're going to execute his orders at 105,600 as you did before. It's just driven by orders in banks. There's nothing else in it apart from bank orders. That's what makes it move up and down. They're the only people that can do it. So you put your targets where the market's going. You don't put your targets where you want it to go. If you want 1 ADR out of it, go for it. But if at 3/4 of an ADR, there's a triple top, use 3/4 because it's unlikely to get through the triple top. Didn't last 3 times. Why would it this time? The odds are always 50-50. Every time you get to a high, the odds are 50-50. It's either going to do that or that. We don't know, do we? But there's a high probability, a 50% chance of it doing that. So take the profit there. Why is my TP there? Because that's where they sold it from last time. I'm going to assume that the sellers that took control of the market here, that had a go, finally broke it, added to it. I'm assuming they're going to add again. I've no idea, but I'd be an idiot to target that. Yes, I'd make loads of money if it went up there, but it's more likely to go there or hit that propulsion gap and drop. So if we get all the way up to here and I see a bearish engulfing and then a reversal alert, I'll probably take it off and I'll take a little bit less profit on it, but I'll get out with a profit. That's the difference. I'm not getting out because my strategy requires a 3.1R. Because the back testing showed me that if I did this over the last 3 years and I targeted 1.5R instead of 1.65R, I would have made money. That's irrelevant because that's not going to happen again. This is why all strategies have got a massive failure rate. You can back test as much as you like. That's never, ever going to happen again. Yeah. So this is, people go, this is the thing I hear all the time. What's the best risk reward? What's the best, like that question, ADR to target? With all the strategies I've looked at in the past that use risk reward ratios, the reason all of them fail is because they've been back tested. You back test something and you get, let's say, a simple RSI extension. You take an RSI extension, you get in long when it crosses back above the 80 level or whatever it is. In the past, you will be looking at how far did it move? I.e., if I got in there and put a stop below the low, how far did it move on average? Sometimes it went to 6R, sometimes it went to 3R, sometimes it went to 1R. So if I take an average of 1.5R, that's probably the best part. So I'll test that and go, yeah. So if I use a 1.5R, it's going to make profit. No, it made profit the last 2 years. This year, it's not going to do what it did that time because this is different. So this year, you should have used 1.25R. The fact you use 1.5R means your strategy fails. Nothing wrong with the strategy, it works. You're just targeting too much because there's a resistance in the way. Every trade has got to be treated uniquely. There isn't a set and forget. Half an ADR, fine. Sometimes it might be 3 ADR. Sometimes it might be 0.25 ADR. Look at the chart. That's what you need to do. You can't. And this is why I'm targeting now monetary amounts rather than ADR movement. Because yes, and like it's what I say with the ADR reversal strategy. With the ADR reversal strategy, when you get into a trade, try and target 1/3 to 1/2 of an ADR. Because that's what I have found historically. When you get an ADR extension, you should be able to look at the pound US dollar. Perfect example. Look at that. Good timing, pound US. Yeah, when you get an ADR reversal, so there's your ADR, hit 125 ADR yesterday. There's your reversal alert, which triggered. Yeah. So 1/3 to 1/2 an ADR. Half an ADR is 34. Yeah, so that's half an ADR. Yeah, and 1/3 of an ADR. It's going to be something like that. 17, 25, something like that. Yeah. So when you get a reversal alert, because of market structure, pullback will either be a 30 or a 50% retracement most of the time, not all the time, most of the time. When you get that reversal, there's a high probability of at least getting 1/3 or a 1/2 ADR out of it. Yeah. If market structure is going to continue in the way the break happened, you're looking for the mean reversion profit take move, not for that. So that's why I say that's probably a good target with ADR reversals. With something that is pushed for 5 days in one direction and has given you a 80 RSI extension to the upside on the hourly chart, targeting 1/4 to 1/2 an ADR seems pointless because it's moved up 4 ADR in 5 days. let's go for 1 ADR, 1.5 ADR. But let's say, for example, this is an hourly chart. Yeah. If that is 2 ADR, we're not going to target 3 ADR because we want 3 ADR. Our stop would be 1 ADR, so we want 3R. No, you target where price is going to go. Price is stopping because the buyers that broke this level are adding more volume. You stop at areas that the price is likely to move from, not at price, not where you need a risk-reward ratio. It's irrelevant. So yeah, this, I mean, this is pound US dollar, prime example, pushing down. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to stick a trailer on it. Yeah, and remove my TP. Because let's say, for example, something catastrophic happens now in the pound or the US, and suddenly this goes bang, bang, bang for 4 hours. Or something like that. We have a huge ADR down day. So we do a 150 ADR today, for example, for some reason. There's no news, so it's unlikely to. And we've got FOMC, so it's more likely to do that. But anyway, let's say, for example, that happens. That trailing stop gets me out with about 0.2% profit. I'll take whatever the market gives me. Highly likely we'll get a bounce there because that's yesterday's low. If that fails, we're probably looking at the low from Monday, which is 125 ADR or last week's low. I don't know where it's going, but I've got enough profit on it. And this is stuff that the EA just can't do. If you told the EA to target half an ADR, you're out. I've got more than half an ADR because I'm not doing that. I'm waiting to see what the market gives. It's just a different way of targeting. You've got to be more flexible. But this is over 0.25%. Look, this is just sitting in $92 of profit. 75 is a quarter of an ADR. I'm happy to take a quarter of an ADR profit. But don't take a quarter of an ADR profit. Maybe put a trailing stop loss on like this when you get to that level and see if you get more. If you don't get more, you don't get more. If you do, you do. There's a very famous saying, isn't there, in trading? Cut your losers short, let your winners run. The cut the losers short part of it, we ignore because we don't do that. The let the winners run part, damn right. This is why you see me before news events. If I've got something in profit, I bank it if there's multiple trades on a position because I can't get that back. But if it goes my way and that news event takes the trade in my direction, I'm going to let these run as far as that news will carry me until it gets to a point where I'm sitting there going, there's no way I'm leaving 1% on the table to disappear. I'll take it. Just let it run. And this is the problem with EAs. EAs are stupid. Yeah. If I set this EA up and I say to it, get me out at when I've reached 0.25% in profit, it'll do that. If I look at the trade and I go, bloody hell, there's a whacking great propulsion gap down there off of this huge news candle. That's where we're heading. The EA is stupid. It can't see this. And if I teach the EA this, you'll look at it and go, oh my God, I've got a 0.5% profit there. I want that in the bank. You've got to make these decisions yourself. It's trading. It's a job. People that want the Lambos and the automated EAs you can stick on a chart and do no work, never going to make it. You've got to do some work. It's part of it. Part of the job. Watching, learning, figuring out what the hell's going on. You know, if you don't watch the charts going up and down and you don't look at this and make these decisions, every time you move a stop loss, a take profit to a level and it gets hit, you go, he's right. If you never look at the charts, you'll never get any confirmation for yourself that what I say actually does happen in the real world because you won't be watching it. You won't be doing it. You've got to watch, got to do. You've got to spend 10,000 hours sitting in front of this thing, looking at it going up and down. Otherwise, it's not going to burn into those retinas and you're never going to know what to do with every trade. And after you've done the thing that you thought was going to happen 10 times and it hasn't happened, you'll then also realize that you have no control over this market and doesn't matter what you think, the market will do what it wants. Your job is to adapt to what the market does and change your price and get out when the market does what you want it to do at the time it wants it to do it. I can't say now, New Zealand dollar Swiss, thanks for that reverse alert. If you could go short, that'd be lovely. It will do what the hell it wants to. And if it wants to push up to ADR today, it will. Nothing I can do about it, but I can adjust my price and then wait for it to pull back on that leg, which now got a little bit longer than I anticipated it. I don't know where it's going, do I? No one does. We knew that. We would just do what the market's going to do, wouldn't we? Anyway, why did I say all of that? Somebody asked something. Do you think 180R? Yeah, that was the question, wasn't it, FTNet? Lucho, non-trading chat is also welcome chat. Should probably change that. Yeah, how'd you do that? That's that me bot, isn't it? I'll do that. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's just putting a list of everybody that's joining in the non-trading chat. How do you change that? I'll figure that out. I find Discord very clunky. Uses more memory than Telegram. I don't know. It's only a website, so. Yeah, I'm thinking about diversifying, but might get complicated. So thinking just taking the risk. Yeah, if you want to diversify, there's nothing wrong with using multiple brokers. The only real problem you'll ever have is if a broker goes bust, and it's so rare, especially with big brokers. Yeah, it's like saying Amazon might go bust. Yeah, it might do, but what do you think the shareholders are going to say about that? They're going to be a bit pissed off. All these big companies are just big companies. Their job is to pay shareholders, the same as everybody else. This is why the S&P continuously goes up. Yeah, because they make money. So it's not going to go anywhere. Your big broker. If there's a black swan event, yeah, you're in trouble. You're in trouble anyway. So there's nothing you can do about a black swan event. I've had one in my entire trading life. So I don't worry about those. If it happens, it happens. Everyone's going to be in the same boat. Alpari went bankrupt. I got my money out of them because I had protection. There is protection with Robo Forex. Every broker has protection. It's just protection in a different country to the country that you live in. If you're worried about that, then you have to use 1 to 30. And if you're going to do that, you cannot do this. You can trade with a stop loss. Look at this bloody account. Yeah, this has got 1 to 300 leverage. It's being margin called all the time on 1 to 300 leverage. Admittedly, I'm using 5 and 10% risk per trade because it's a play account. But you still get margin called on everything. Email or phone verification helps cut out scammers. Yeah, that's in there. So there is verification in Discord. It's set up to require verification. Roger that. Robo and IC markets. Yeah. Crikey, got to catch up on chat. Dougal is right. Discord with no verification for new members is risky. It has got verification, as far as I know. I mean, tell me if you think it hasn't, but it says in the settings it has. Safety setup. Streamer mode? What the hell? Auto mod, yeah. I don't know. It's in there somewhere. I saw it when I was setting the server up. But you have to have some kind of verification. Your account has to be verified. But that doesn't stop the bots verifying their accounts, does it? There's an unlimited number of phone numbers out there to get verified on, so they'll get around it. Doesn't matter what it is. I put a lock on everything so that you can't make a post for 3 days and you have to contact me and have a written yes you can, or I can invite people in manually. Bots are still going to get in. Scammers are still going to get in. People have got to use their heads. Nothing I can do about it. But anyway, I used to watch it, love it. Yeah, Friday night dinner. Very funny. I'm miles behind on the chat. Christ, I mentioned that ages ago. Hoping pound Swiss on the turn too. Yeah, so we're pulling back up and retesting at the moment. So yeah, we're down day at the moment, aren't we? So we got so yesterday we kind of put in an outside bar. This is a double bottom, but we put in a high as well. So it's not quite an outside bar, it's a bull bar yesterday as well. But yeah, 3 bull days in a row basically. So it's whether or not we can get some Swiss franc strength. We'll have to wait and see on that. Morning, Champagne. To change welcome chat, go to settings, overview, system. What? Go to settings. I can never find the thing. Server settings, overview. Oh, system channel messages. Welcome. There we go. Done. Good job. Thanks for that, Lucho. So the welcome channel will now get the all the delete all of those, shouldn't I? Anyway, I got in with no verification. Dougal, your account's probably already verified, isn't it? If you've got a Discord account, you've verified your Discord account at some point. Where did you get your RSI indicator with the multiple lines? It's just the normal RSI. It's RSI. It's just this standard MT4 RSI. If you want to adjust it, you just adjust it in the settings. So levels, go into levels, you can add new levels in. So if you want to add a new level in, you can put one in at 10. Okay, and it adds it in. I don't want one at 10, so I'm going to remove it. Ta-da! Just standard RSI. Morning, Pot DJ. Right, that's all I've got for you this morning. I'm trying to keep these streams as short as possible so that I can get on with stuff. So there we go. We've covered everything today that I needed to cover. Just waiting for stuff to move. It's FOMC day, so we'll see what happens. But I'll be back this afternoon at 2 o'clock. And we'll basically just have a look at what's gone on this morning and a quick overview of where we are with RSI, see if there's any new trades been taken, see if anything's been closed out. Any positions that I close out, I will try and post them in the groups if I get a chance. But I've got so much to do. But if you want to follow my trades, they're all in FX Blue anyway. There you go. That trading stops triggered on the pound US. There you go. So 0.3% banked pound US. That's the ADR reversal from yesterday. Might bank that Euro US as well. Going to close out Euro US dollar as well. That puts another half percent in the bank. Pound CAD I'll let run. Euro CAD. I'll let both of those run for the minute. Right. Can you please post the FX new link, FX Blue? There you go. There you go. Right, I'll be back this afternoon, 2 o'clock. Anything else you need, let me know in Discord or Telegram. And I need to update the stream as well. I don't have a Discord. So, I'll be playing around Discord this morning, and I need to do some more testing on the EA. Oh, just before I go, I ran a back test yesterday on the position trading EA. Did a system parameter permutation test on it, which came out okay. This was a really simple RSI extension strategy, pretty much what I trade in here, without aggressive drawdown control, without automated drawdown control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the same strategy again today, but I'm going to run it with auto DD control and aggressive DD control automation as well. So I just want to see what the difference is between doing it automatically and doing it manually, to both the drawdown and to the profit generated. So, but yeah, testing all worked yesterday, fine. So it's kind of, I think, pretty much there. Everything I want it to do, it's kind of doing. But I do need to stick it on a VPS and run it live for a week just to double check. So I'm going to do that, I think. I might just use this account, actually, which was the Play Money account, just to test it on a live account, do some proper forward testing on it using proper settings, i.e. 0.2% risk instead of 5 and 10% risk, which is what I've been doing just to muck about with. So, yeah, I'll be working on that this morning as well. But, yeah, back testing is all going good. It's all working. It's all kind of doing what I would expect it to do. So, all right, so I'll be back this afternoon. Anything you need, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be back at 2 o'clock and we'll have a look at what's happened this morning. All right, so have a good one.